And welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is blessings. What we get to talk about is how when we put our attention on our blessings, they multiply. And our frequency is elevated, our experience is enlivened and enriched. And so that's our conversation for today. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. And welcome to everybody else who's joining us here. Let's take a couple minutes and get present before we get to start talking about blessings. So take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Robin. So good to have you joining us this morning. So today we're talking about blessings. I have been actively engaging with gratitude, and that's where this conversation comes from this morning. So to be really appreciating our blessings, and regardless of your situation, regardless of how dire and dark things may be, there are always blessings that we can be grateful for. And it may take a deliberate, concerted effort to put your attention in that direction, the direction of the blessings, because you may feel so deeply overwhelmed and in despair, but we can transform that. And I know I've shared this before, but I remember vividly at a time when, well, for years and years, I was deeply, deeply depressed. But there was a time when I was just in such dark despair. And there are things that we can do to allow ourselves to turn away from that despair and to turn toward enlivening ourselves. So I was in the shower and I was just crying. And I remember singing just to try, and it did, to elevate my frequency, even just the smallest bit, even just the tiniest bit, to elevate ourselves. So one of the really remarkable ways to elevate our frequency is by putting our attention on gratitude. And a great way to do that is to be looking for blessings. And they're actually easy to find, even though we might not be inclined to look. That's the challenge. There are so many blessings. If our body is failing us in a variety of ways, there are another variety of ways that it's still functioning for us, and that it's serving us in a way we can feel blessed by. That's like the most immediate thing. The beauty of nature is always there as a profound blessing that we can be grateful for. There are a multitude of blessings. You know, let's say we're able-bodied. If we're able-bodied, there are blessings of just being able to move, of being able-bodied, of being able, if we are, to care for ourselves. There are multitudes and multitudes of blessings. And the thing is that generally there are things that we just take for granted. We just assume all these things, and truly they're blessings that allow us to function within the context of our daily lives. We may be overwhelmed by to-dos and the requirements of our situation. And even within that sense of overwhelm, there is the opportunity to recognize and appreciate our blessings and to find gratitude. So I have this silly little ditty that I had made for myself that I find really helpful. So I'm going to share it, and please forgive me because I am not a singer, but it goes like this. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Just that simple. And I just repeat that. And as I repeat it, it elevates my spirit. So it can be something that simple. I don't even have to be looking for specific blessings, but when I invoke that gratitude, I become more aware of the blessings of the lovely little home that I have, the blessings of the companionship of my cat, the blessings of being able to speak with you all every morning. You know, and I'm not alone in being surrounded by blessings. The thing is that in so many ways, we're conditioned to look for what's wrong instead of what's right, what's bad instead of what's good. And it takes a deliberate, committed effort sometimes to literally turn your head toward the things that are nurturing, rather than being mired into the things that are oppressing us. And so I don't know about counting blessings, because there are so many of them, right? There's no limit to the blessings that we have. It's just a matter of being able to perceive them, recognize them, acknowledge them. And there's so much power available in that. And it elevates us. It lifts us. It raises our frequency in a literal way to be present to the blessings. And as our spirit is elevated in that way, as our frequency is heightened, then we're going to be attracting more of that, partly because we're more aware. So I've talked to several clients recently about being in a mode of receiving. And when we are acknowledging our blessings, I think what we're doing also is expanding our capacity to receive those blessings, because we're creating an awareness, we're creating a magnetism within ourselves, within our fields, to attract that. So Rosalind says voice expression helps to raise the vibration, like your song or humming Om. Yes, so that's a fun thing to do too, is to play with vocalizations. Even when we're in pain, to be able to vocalize that, that can help. So this is along that line, kind of funny, I guess. I have a trainer. I'm very really grateful to be able to say I manifested a trainer for myself, and they have told me that I need to take cold showers. And I have to tell you how much aversion I had to this notion of cold showers. So I take a regular shower, and at the end of the shower, I make the water cold. And I stand in the shower, and I initially I was like, lots and lots and lots of vocalization because of how cold the water was. And that helped. That helped. So when we're in pain, the vocalization helps. When we're in joy, the vocalization helps. When we're counting blessings or experiencing, forget the counting, when we're experiencing the plethora of blessings, vocalization can help. So Robin says, I am so blessed. I seek gratitude and positive thoughts for my highest good along my journey. So that's beautiful. And I invite you, rather than seeking gratitude and positive thoughts, being gratitude and positive thoughts. Because as we step into the beingness of it, it's present. As long as we're seeking, we're separate from it. And so this may seem like a nitpicky point when it comes to language, but our language creates our experience to a great degree. We try to capture our experience in language, and then our language in many ways helps to create our experience. So I steep myself in gratitude and positive thoughts. Maybe a better or well, qualitatively perhaps better affirmation. So Robin says, I do the same, maybe not for a long amount of time. In the cold showers, I'm thinking, is what you're meaning. And Robin says, I do that, maybe wrong choice of words. I'm not saying wrong. I'm just saying, we can optimize our language. And I got that you do that, Robin. I got that that's what you're about, is being in this space of gratitude and positivity. And gratitude is one of those things, or appreciation is one of those things that for me is a state that I really truly can generate more readily. It's interesting. So many people, we talk about love being the foundation energy of the universe. For me, I find a challenge in accessing love directly. For me, the path to being able to access that expansive open-heartedness of love and presence is through beauty. But that said, gratitude also, or this gratitude song for me helps me enter into that more expansive realm. So Robin says, I learned so much for my vocabulary from you. Robin, you're very sweet. Thank you for receiving that as coaching rather than critique. It is not critique. It's just sort of, let's take it to the next level. We have so much power in our language. We are spellcasters. And by that I mean the words that we use have a power to them, particularly when we believe them. Like, the words of doctors are really heavy duty spells in many, many ways, right? They're like, if a doctor says, well, you've got 3 months to live, that's a heavy duty spell. That's like imposition of a pretty intense kind of energy that is really powerful, and something that we need to be alert to not just accept these things. It was interesting in a conversation with another client who has had some health challenges. They were telling me that they had been to the doctor, and the doctor said what was saying things that we kind of all accept, right? This is our group hypnosis about, well, when you get older, these things happen and there's more deterioration and all this stuff. And we believe all that, right? We believe that that as we get older, we've been hypnotized into believing that as we get older, we should anticipate and expect decrepitude of some sort or another, that we should expect to deteriorate. And we affirm these things to ourselves and to each other, and the culture reminds us of all of that, rather than allowing ourselves to be vital and alive. And it's really interesting to me. So Robin says, words have intention with direction. I agree. We can use them that way, certainly. And we often use them very carelessly. So when I, as someone who has higher numbers to their age than I used to, I guess we all are that person. I notice more and more people attributing their complaints or their memory lapse or whatever to age. And I can recognize that I always had lapses of memory or unconsciousness, where I would do things because I wasn't present. And getting older, so many people attribute that same kind of flakiness to age. And that's programming. We're programming ourselves more and more. And so I hear people saying, well, I'm getting older and I'm looking at, infirmity and what kind of future am, and I respond by saying, hey, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. And it's a very different mentality to this whole idea of act your age. The heck with that. What does that mean? Act your age according to whom? So the blessings, one of the biggest blessings that I am grateful for is that I think differently, that I don't fall sway to the larger consensus reality that kind of has us living in scarcity and lack and decay and an ever darkening environment. We have a choice about this. We have a choice. And the fact that we have a choice is another blessing. No matter what the external circumstances, we have a choice about how we interact with and interpret and project our reality. And we have a choice about whether we put our attention on our blessings or on our impediments and our restrictions or our sorrows. It sometimes takes a deliberate act of will, again, to turn your head from the darkness. And it might feel like denial of what is so. It's not denial. What's so is so, all of it. And the goodness is part of that too. And we somehow think that it's more meritorious or more valid somehow to put our attention on the negatives. That's not true. That's not true. Why not? I mean, why is it not equally valid to put our attention on the positives? And we can acknowledge that whatever we're calling negative, whatever we're calling positive, we can acknowledge that it's all there. We get to put our attention by choice. Yes, we're programmed. We're deeply, heavily programmed to be looking for what's wrong. And it goes against the grain in many situations to be looking for what's right. And I don't believe, by the way, in right and wrong as this, as an is. I'm talking about a perceived spectrum here. But it takes a deliberate act of will to pull yourself out of those programs, to be able to recognize, wait a second, that consensus reality isn't my reality. It's not the truth that I'm buying into. I'm going to seek possibility. I'm going to seek potentials. And the word seek is, again, that I mentioned earlier, if we're seeking something, we're separate from it. So how about I am opening to potentials? I am experiencing and expanding into potentials and capabilities, rather than I am creating this cage from which I can't escape. I'm flinging the doors of the cage wide open and stepping out into the unknown in order to experience that beyond my ability to imagine, to step into the magic. We all have that ability. There's magic all over, all the time. And when I say magic, I don't mean abracadabra magic. I mean the wonder and mystery and magnificence of things that are beyond our explanation, and that are life-bringing, that are life-affirming, that are filled with wonder. And it's there for us all the time. So Rosalind says, expanding into. Yes. We have so great a capacity for expansion into possibilities and potentials, capacities, capabilities that we haven't even yet imagined. And so on that note, I'm going to wrap it for this morning. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. I go live with you each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern here on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and I think it's the Core Connection Facebook page. Anyway, so that's it for this morning. As always, I'm deeply, deeply grateful to you for the opportunity to share these musings, to explore being human together, and learning how to maybe move beyond the limitations that we accepted and can now expand beyond. So until next time, so much love to you.